Welcome to NTA Panorama. I am Miriam Akpata, your guide. Nigeria Police Force confirms the arrest of Senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Dino Melaye, by Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The Nigerian Immigration Service yesterday prevented the senator from traveling out of the country. Senator Dino Melaye was billed to travel to Morocco on official assignment. He was released after a brief chat with immigration officials yesterday. President Muhammadu Buhari is scheduled to declare open a 3-day international conference on cross-border movement beginning from 26th to 29th of this month. The conference, initiated by the Ministry of Interior, is coming under the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement of Persons, Goods and Services, and would zero in particularly on the Protocol of Transhumance, which was signed in 1978 but yet to be implemented. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports more on this.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, embarked on different integration schemes to foster cooperation and development among member states. The most important among all is the Free Movement Protocol. This guarantees the movement of persons, goods and services freely across borders. The protocol provided, for instance, that any of such movement of transhuman should be received at the reception center by the host country, and there, international transhuman certificate are supposed to guide them.
They should also go along with international health certificate for the cattle they are going with, and census will be taken. So if somebody comes in with 10 cattle, for instance, and if he's going out with 20, you will ask him questions because of issue of cattle rustling. You will also be able to know that animals he's carrying do not carry disease into your country. And you also want to be sure that they obey the laws within the country. And the issue of carrying of arms, of course, is a no-go area.
It has been established that many herdsmen who are involved in clashes in Nigerian communities were not Nigerians. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Audi Ogbe, on grazing reserves, cited the ECOWAS Transhuman Protocol as a reason non-citizens of Nigeria are still allowed to graze their cattle across the country.
We don't drink human blood, and there's no need for some of the violence that is being unleashed here and there.
This explains the reason President Muhammadu Buhari initiated the need for the conference to review the ECOWAS protocol to make it effective rather than destructive.
It's an opportunity also to really seek President Buhari's guidance and advice on how best we can advance the agenda of integration in West Africa.
All the 15 ECOWAS countries are expected at the conference, which will also involve Chad, Cameroon and Central African Republic, as well as Morocco and Mauritania. These countries are facing similar problem as Nigeria. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Health has urged the Joint Health Sector Union, JOHESU, to shelve its ongoing strike action in the interest of patients and the nation. Chairman of the committee, Larry Tejuosho, made the plea when the union appeared before the committee. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adeguloye reports.
The committee was displeased that the Joint Health Sector Union, JOHESU, had not kept the Senate abreast of developments prior to embarking on the strike action, which is about entering its second week.
It's not what this country requires at this point in time, right now.
The president of JOHESU narrated circumstances that led to the eventual strike action, insisting that workers will resume duties when an agreement can be reached with government.
The decision to say we will suspend this action is really out of our way for now. Except we have got some tangible action taken that we can now take that to our people for them to say, okay, let's now step down this action and be talking about how we can implement all the remaining issues.
Chairman of the committee, Lanre Tejuosho, however, urged for a speedy resolution to the impasse.
We should always remember that dealing with patients, the treatment of patients, the success of it begins with their psychology. That the people treating them, they believe in them. I believe unity of the health workers is very, very important.
The confidence of patients, he said, is paramount, and this should not be eroded at any cost. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has described as false an allegation in some sections of the media that is intended to create additional 30,000 polling units to compromise the 2019 general elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu was speaking shortly after a meeting with the officials of the Lesotho election management body in Abuja. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Benin Kudu has details.
In response to the reports on the reintroduction of new polling units, INEC had earlier in a statement clarified that there is no plan of polling units, but the Commission had received more than 3,700 requests for such purpose. This prompted the Commission to ask its resident electoral commissioners to furnish the Commission with information that will determine what changes necessary in the current polling unit profile of the country.
There is no controversy. INEC is not creating 30,000 polling units, full stop.
Earlier, the Lesotho electoral officials held their first meeting as part of their understudy tour of Nigeria's success story in the election management.
We are at the moment on the initial stage of developing our own strategic plan. Hence why we have come here to learn more of.
As we speak, our election will hold on the 16th of February 2019, which is exactly 298 days, 20 hours, 20 minutes, and the seconds are ticking as we speak. So planning will enable you to know exactly when these elections will hold.
The visit is a fallout of the recent ECOWAS conference on the use of technology in election in the continent. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Odige Oyegun, says the party's leaders at all levels are committed to making the party a more formidable force to ensure its victory once again at the 2019 general elections. The chairman stated this while inaugurating the party's National Convention Committee. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
And it is my privilege.
They are 68 in number, forming membership of the National Convention Committee of APC, being formally presented now to the public by National Chairman John Odige Oyegun.
But from now, you are constituted.
After presentation, the committee received a mandate from the party.
So you have this tough task in the shortest possible time of producing a convention that provides a level playing field for anybody who wants to aspire.
Shortly after the inaugural ceremony, the committee went into a closed-door session.
I'm sure we'll come out stronger.
The closed-door meeting over, Chairman of the National Convention Committee, Governor Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa State, speaks to the media.
Our constitution allows for consensus. You are all aware. So if there are consensus, we do, but we will still cast a vote to affirm the consensus that we have done.
APC National Convention Committee Chairman reveals that sales of form to interested aspirants will commence on Wednesday, 25th April 2018, while the May 14th National Convention will hold as scheduled in Abuja. Some members and stakeholders of the party comment.
APC will come out stronger and united. It's a party assignment. I can serve at any level. So far, we are serving the party. We are resolute. We are equipped with the rightful men
to ensure very transparent, very good convention.
The 2018 National Convention Committee has members comprising 10 APC governors, serving and former members of the National Assembly, women and youth groups, persons with disabilities, and APC coalition support groups. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has admonished young Nigerians to make education a top priority, as well as develop good character that will distinguish them as worthy individuals among their peers across the world. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that this was when the Vice President read and interacted with pupils of public primary schools in Abuja as part of activities marking the United Nations World Book and Copyright Day. The day is to create awareness of the correlation between reading and building a successful nation. The Vice President, who read from a book titled The Legend, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, to pupils of LEA Primary School, Life Camp Abuja, advised them to cultivate the habit of reading, stressing that learning from history of such great Nigerians who are role models would be inspiring, challenging, and packed with morals.
One way of making sure that our country gains its lost glory is how hard you work. So if you make sure that you as a Nigerian child, do your best in school and become something great, then we will truly regain our lost glory. So every one of us has a duty to make sure that we work hard, do the best we can, honestly and forthrightly, and our country will be truly great very, very soon.
Nigeria Reads 2018 was organized by the Rainbow Book Club. Founder of the club, Mrs. Kofo Kalango, said the event is to promote reading for personal and social development in Africa. Well, joining us in the studio to talk more on book presentation, leadership, culture and ethics in Nigeria is Dr. Ferdinand Anikwe, Director General, Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, CBAC. You're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right. Nigeria just marked World Book and Copyright Day. How sustainable is this to national development?
Well, it is clear that any nation that has stopped reading has stopped living. The interesting thing is that His Excellency the Vice President, in his calm, cool and collected manner, was able to deliver to the children why it is necessary for them to read. And most importantly, references were made to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the legend they called him. I want to say that many of us are talking today in various languages because we have read books. And it is necessary for everybody to read. And that's why we kept writing and making sure that others, as much as we can, will as well read. But most importantly, it's not just reading, but reading things that will help to promote Nigeria's integrated cultural and economic development. One of the most important is that history has been relegated to the background, and as a result, all kinds of challenges and problems, conflicts and contradictions have been witnessed in Nigerian political development, Nigerian political economy, because of the inability of our system to imbibe history, teach it and make it compulsory from primary to secondary school levels. I delivered a lecture on rethinking cultural Pan-Africanism in Ghana, and I told them the lapses of history. The same Ghanaian government ensures that anybody that reads in Ghana reads history of Ghana. United States of America, of all countries on earth, makes history compulsory. Therefore, in Nigeria, our curriculum development experts must look inwards and be able to integrate cultural programs and practices which will engender the production of Nigerians. So far, what we have are tribal experts. Yeah. They are not Nigerians.
So far, what we have are tribal experts. Well, talking about traditional rule, let's come to traditional institutions. What is the role of traditional institutions when it comes to maintaining law and order in their domain?
Well, it is our view, in our own modest opinion, that the traditional institution is about the only thing that has succeeded pre-colonial period, succeeded colonialism and imperialism, and succeeded the military interregnum, and even the democracy with its challenges. And most importantly, we need to identify the ideological history and what the rural communities, what these traditional institutions hold as promise for Nigeria. It is clear that most people go home and bow down to the dictates and the principles of the leadership of the traditional rulers. But when they come to the urban settlements, where the sociologists say that there is normlessness, that is on me, nothing controls anything, and we kept quoting law, which I don't know where they borrowed from. The traditional institutions keep the communities stable, and every person there obeys the rules. But when they come out in the urban centers like Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Enugu, Kaduna, Kano, and all that, they now become human rights activists. They quote laws, and in the process, still what we...
I don't come out my hand from oil concrete. General, what you going to yarn? What did the yarn say? I don't understand though. Because they spoil our water and our environment. And they cause our people serious harm. Militants is said, you know. Me, I not do again Sam. Because why? Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
NTA2Lagos Network Center brings you broadcast service wherever and whenever through our social media platforms, now live on just a click away. Global news, sports, business reports, politics, issues, events and happenings around the world, your favorite past and present TV programs, drama, documentaries, and for your news headlines, log on to www.youtube.com/NTA2Lagos. Watch, download, comment, and subscribe free. It's simply www.NTA2Lagos and explore our world of news and events. Available in all smartphones, iPads, and all Android phones. Like our Facebook page, NTA2Lagos Network Center. You can tweet us at NTA2LNC. NTA2Lagos Network Center, your reach out station.
We have both experience and knowledge to give you insight that can help drive your own business profitability.
Business Matters, a platform to air your business summits, conferences, seminars, workshops, training, and updates in the capital markets. Also in Business Matters, in-depth analysis covering all aspects of the economy.
We talk to all these development banks. What they will always tell you that the companies are not ready to access funding. Not because they don't have money, but the companies are not ready.
Are you a small business owner? Avail yourself of this opportunity to advertise your product on a spotlight on small and medium-scale businesses. Business Matters, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah, what if I ask you to marry me? Born for me, take a ride till eternity. What if I say there's no plan B? Say I'm ready to come in to meet the family. Come, what if I already planned it? And right now we're keeping everybody standing. Priest done the wait, make we come save out. That look on your face, I know you wanna say how, but if I no get, shit, it no go too matter. Can you go be the annie to my two baba? Entertainers, no feet, love, good job. But Uncle always still there with Auntie Joker. I know we go last if you take my last name. I'll be grateful, I will love you till my last day. I don't get you, there's no stopping now. Make we go altar, go lock
if
them down.
I tell you you're the only one I want, the only one I need. If I tell you you're the one that makes my heart beat, say you go believe. If I tell you, say that you did on my want, for you I give my all. If I tell you, say that you did make my heart beat, say you go believe. Now you where I need. Now you did my dreams. You are the only one for me. Now you where I want. So believe that I love you for real. Oh, you dance for me, oh. Shake it for me, baby, oh. Oh, you dance for your daddy. I wanna see you change on your body. Oh, you change your style. Let me see you, baby. Oh, you shake it for me, mommy. I wanna see you change on your body. I wanna see you dance. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wanna see you dance. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She was beautiful, look beautifully. Wallahi, you beautiful. She was wonderful, wonderfully. Sitting, you wonderful. She dear, how do you push the matter? Just let you catapult your heart, nobody the banger, you heart, no other girls, but to copy cards, nobody put to be like a body, no body, but they know what you mean, watching, scatter my head, I imagine, everyone need a I know feel like investigation and monitoring unit, yielding results monitoring. It's your official mix, baby. I'm okay, telling me colorless, baby no delay. Fama me cache to one night. You know I love you, baby, yes I do. I bless nobody above you. I just wanna be with you, my girl. You know I love you, baby, yes I do. Bless nobody above you. I just wanna be with you, my girl. No, baby, I just wanna say, every time I set my eyes on your pretty face, oh, love me, now you did my brain. Yeah. You are my everything, my one and only family, baby boo. And I just wanna let you know I love you. Kilo shele gongo, yeah, baby, to rock out, Jacko shele gongo. Baby, take my heart, cause you waited you, I know you want more. Kilo shele gongo, yeah, baby, to rock out, Jacko shele gongo. You're the sunshine in my life. I'm okay, telling me colorless, baby, no delay. Fama me cache to one night. You know I love you, baby, yes I do. I bless nobody above you. I just wanna be with you, my girl. You know I love you, baby, yes I do. Bless nobody above you. I just wanna be with you, my girl. My baby, don't lose out the things. Baby, just turn up with me, yeah. Don't lose out the flame. Nobody else to die be red. I will never leave you, baby. I'm forever here to stay. I'm gonna hit it, drive me crazy. Oh, love hurting me. This love means to me everlasting. And I just wanna let you know I adore you, baby.
School and Suleiman noted that the suspect are part of
There is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. I wake up in the morning, tell you what I see on my TV screen.
Asha is a Nigerian-French singer, songwriter, and recording artist whose name is Bukola Elemide. Was born in Paris, 17th September 1982, to a Nigerian parents. Her family returned to Nigeria when she was 2. Asha grew up in Alagbole, a border town in Ogun State, near Lagos, in the southwestern part of Nigeria. 20 years later, Asha returned to Paris, where her life as an artist took off.
For the people who are gone, yeah, for the ones not yet born. Oh, for the people who are for the people, say peace. For the people who are gone, yeah, for the ones not yet.
In 2004, Asha met her manager and friend, Janet, who introduced her to Kubam's Emmanuel Asuko, who in turn became her musical partner and producer. Her first single, A Year Adaba, then Jailer.
I'm in chains, you're in chains too. Our uniforms and you are uniforms too. I'm a prisoner, you're a...
had 2. And so family rivalry was there, 9 children in the house, and the only thing they had was a 504, and they sold that car for 11,000 naira. My mom and my stepmom were not educated, and so they shared the money and they said each family, each clan, put like that, go and find yourself. So I moved from a 3-bedroom apartment to a face me, I face you house. And so first of all, that mindset began to torture me. And I didn't do very well in English in the secondary schools. I had P. So that affected my going into the university. So I went into 3 universities in 3 years, but ended up in University of Calabar, where I did a course called Agric Education. Nothing wrong with it, but that was not my passion. I just wanted to do it, let my people go. Now, because it was a course I didn't like, I ended up not doing fantastic well. I had to fend for myself, and that affected my grades in school. I came out of school with a 3rd class, extra year, and NYSC forgot to post me. So I was for success. I started my life as a security guard in Akwa Ibom State, and I was there for 3 years without pay. So if somebody gives me hand-me-downs, pass me, and that's how I started. But I got hungry. I was tired of begging, tired of looking at it. And the only way I needed to change myself was to change my mind. And I saw that my colleagues, age mates in different parts of the country, were progressive. What were they doing? A lot of them were involved in reading and also businesses. So I began to take a passion into an industry called security, and I read security. I'll go to Oshodi, Ojuelegba, buy the magazines there, 150 naira, and I'll read through it. And I began to learn skills from them, and I began to practice it. The more you try, the better you become. So that began to open me up into a system of possibilities, and began to believe more in myself. And the more I improved myself on training, the better for me. So my metamorphosis is through I trained myself into coming out, not because of what school had judged me.
Okay, a whole lot of the youth believe, that...
Think. Productivity is inevitable. Now, so we need to really put more into how to think. I'll give you a classic example. The Global Competitive Index report is posted every year. In that report, you check that Nigeria, as at now, we are 127 over 138, which is not very good. Now, but you see, in that problem, there are opportunities. Any country you see that is working, there's no opportunity there. They look for places that there are problems. Once you see that there is no place there's problem, that's opportunity.
Provide solution and start making money. It's good that we are talking about how the youth can utilize their innate talents, how they can take up opportunities and, you know, transform them into money-making ventures so that have less of this insecurity in Nigeria. I thank you for watching Nitty Gritty. Join us next week for another interesting edition. Bye for now.
NTA2Lagos Network Center.
Because of burning oil and cutting down forests, climate change will give our children floods, hunger, drought and poverty. Trees give oxygen, rain and shelter. Let's make Nigeria green again and plant trees to secure our children's future.
Let us plant a tree today.
NTA2Lagos Network Center brings you broadcast service wherever and whenever through our social media platforms now live on just a click away. Global news, sports, business reports, politics, issues, events and happenings around the world, your favorite past and present TV programs, drama, documentaries, and for your news headlines, log on to www.youtube.com/NTA2Lagos. Watch, download, comment, and subscribe free. It's simply www.NTA2Lagos and explore our world of news and events. Available in all smartphones, iPads, and all Android phones. Like our Facebook page, NTA2Lagos Network Center. You can tweet us at NTA2LNC. NTA2Lagos Network Center, your reach out station.
Nigerians, our fearless officers and men of the Nigerian military are winning the war against Boko Haram. Today, all occupied territories have been recovered and Boko Haram has been degraded. Our affected brothers and sisters are getting their lives back. However, they are now after you and me. In our mosques, churches, schools, motor parks, markets, entertainment centers, and public gatherings. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me. Nigeria, unite against terrorism.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
NTA2 Lagos Network Center.